This is Raidou doing post-commentary for the final part of story mode for Dead or Alive 6. Actually, it's kind of nice doing this post-commentary because this means I can get rid of all the loading times. So you're going to get straight to the cutscenes, and yes, the game did actually stall though while it loaded this particular scene. Don't know why, because I went after this, I went and did that scene again, and it didn't stall again. It's just like stalled there. I don't know why. But yeah, this is pretty much the final episode, and because I've cut out the loading times, I've also actually cut a few failed attempts. There's not really that many. There's two particular fights where I did fail a couple of times. But yeah, just for the sake of getting rid of turning this from like a 40+ minute video into the video you're seeing right now, which is probably about, I think it's about 28 minutes or so. Question mark. But yeah, turning this from 40 minutes to about 28 minutes, just basically just loading times and chicanery. And as expected, being like the final set of fights you're gonna have to do, actually does get. I noticed it does get a lot difficult. Nico, especially in like the later fights when you do fight, because you are going to be fighting her actually. I think she's pretty much the only character you fight at this point. So I think there's a couple of other fights where you don't fight against her, and she can be pretty tricksy when you want her to.
As expected.
And here's the cutscene, which I kind of was already spoiled it, but if I was doing this live commentary, I would have bashed my head into the desk so much that I ended up getting a concussion. I would have ended the series right then and there. But as a TLDR, turns out Hanukkah is technically Ayane's sister, because apparently Raidou played away whilst he was banished from the ninja village. And well, it kind of also explains Hanukkah's ability to just copy people's moves. And well, this is a known thing, but when they was asking for the other sample that they needed to awaken Raidou, it's Ayane, because she was the if you know your Dead or Alive lore, I think it gets mentioned in Dead or Alive Dimensions. But Ayane was a product of Kasumi's mother Ayame and Raidou after she was raped by Raidou. That being said, yeah, technically it makes Hanukkah a relation to Hayate and oh, does it really? I was going to say, technically makes a relation to Hayate and Kasumi. But yeah, this next fight with Ray wasn't really too much a big thing. I didn't actually know what kind of happened right at the end though. Whether it was just like Hayate's break combo, which was like mashing the shoulder button a few times. Well, it was just teleported over, well, it just glitched out, and then he eventually managed to get his power thing, and then he threw Rig into a car. But yeah, Hayate's gonna help little half sister out as well. You saw it in the cutscene though, when Ayane was knocked unconscious. She sent out two little glowy butterflies, because that's her motif. Because butterflies is her motif basically. So yeah. If you're wondering, it's probably not too hard to guess where the other one's going.
I'll deal with this. Go.
But yeah, next fight against the prototype Raidou, and just like the other prototypes, is absolutely not even a challenge. It tries to fight back, but yeah, does not even get the essentially really doesn't get the chance apart from like the two attacks it got on me. And, well, yeah. The only time any form of Raidou, because we know he's going to be the final boss at this point. Actually gave me trouble is actually the final boss, and we're going to be seeing there anyway.
You must hurry.
Sorry if I actually spoiled things there, but yeah, Raidou's going to be the final boss, and I pretty much called that earlier. And so yeah, turns out Ayane still trusts Big Sister, even though she's supposedly a traitor. But I think she's kind of over that now. I think she decided she was over that by like Dead or Alive 5, like the end of 5. She's like, yeah, fine, I'm not gonna maybe hunt you down and stuff. But anyway, all horrors upon horrors. Maybe we should try and get those two right before Raidou shows up, but it's not gonna happen. We know it's not gonna happen by now. But yeah, it's a surprising change of pace in the main story type of thing. We're not actually playing as Ninja, we're actually using Bayman. I believe it's like, we're not really use Bayman all that much, so it's kind of nice that we do actually get to use him. Also, check me out just spamming combo throws that I didn't really need to do. Because the AI sometimes just falls for a lot. But yeah, despite that, Christian Bayman still have bad blood with each other. And Christy's gonna walk away because I believe we don't actually see Christy now. No, that's it. She's pretty much gone. And also, yes, Bayman just punched Mary Rose in the stomach. Not right. She's not gonna be best pleased by that. It also unlocks I think it's the final like side story of the game, which actually goes in like a relatively good time frame now because it happens straight after the previous thing.
No. Hey, just who are you?
Instead of like just being all over the place, which is kind of alright. Then again, maybe I probably should have just done like story until everything started becoming relevant. And yeah, also here's Mario's trying her very best to get past Bayman. It's not happening because Bayman's a lot stronger than her, and well, this is pretty much the only fence she's going to get in, maybe. They tried another one of the combos from a roll thing there, but I forget what the combo was for the forward roll. I know the side roll you can just go into a throw and then that's that, but I can't remember what it is from the forward roll, whether it's a punch or a kick, and I think that's why I ended up eating a kick to the face.
Please be safe.
But yeah, that's pretty much essentially my Rose and Bayman out of the pitch now. It's really now it's just the tail of the ninjas. And with this, I believe, which like a bunch of cutscenes now, so yeah, somebody appears with hair tails like, oh hi, I have a butterfly, and hair tails, so like, yeah, I have a butterfly too. Let's just go help out little sister here. Meanwhile, problems are happening, basically. Might want to get away from here. This place is about to become a disaster zone. Because Raidou is finally awake. And he is not happy at all. But then again, since when was he ever happy apart from when he was trying to destroy the world and everything inside? That being said, I believe this is one of the only couple of fights which I actually struggled with, which was Kasumi against Nico. So I may as well just mention now, with the fights that I kind of failed a few times on, I'm going to show you the first attempt at the fight, where I kind of failed miserably, and then I'm just going to cut straight to the fight which was successful. It's not really, you don't really want to see me like failing like 4 or 5 times, especially with the final boss. The final boss is a nightmare. You're going to see that shortly. So yeah, and this was also the fight where, yeah, I thought Nico is like a lot more of a trickier fighter to actually deal with when the AI decides it wants to actually try all that. It's much like why I don't particularly like Brad Bond in that. From what I could see from what she was doing, is that she could easily mix up her moves and punish any sort of stupidity I wanted to do, including right here where she was like not even giving me the time of day. So I'm not going to give her the time of day either. I mean, let's be honest here, but for those wanting to see her victory poses, we're going to end up... Somebody's going to ask me to do a request video with her anyway, so it's going to happen anyway. So yeah, here's the all-important victory where I was doing well, and then Nico decided she wanted to just like no-sell like a lot of events, and then did the stupid AI thing and run into my face, and then just got basically recovery kicked into oblivion. Also, you probably noticed, since they've not got the loading screens, I've actually been lingering on the little chapter intermissions instead. So if you want to see what they say, just pause on those. But yeah, this fight is Kasumi Ayane fight because yeah, Nico did a little something and then escapes like the crazy mad scientist that she is. Fortunately, since Ayane is pretty much one of mains, so is Kasumi, this fight went like really well. Ayane tried things, and because since she's my main, I know which things she's going to try, and well, didn't give her the time of day to actually do anything. Ta-da! The moral of the story here, me versus my own mains is not going to happen. Well, me against AI mains. Me against online mains, different story.
Don't worry.
Let's just put it that way. So yeah, this next thing is, I think, following this is the next set cutscenes. But yeah, this is essentially going to be technically the last we see. I mean, even though I could play in a lot, this is feeling a lot like the Hanukkah and Mary Rose show. When it came to the end game, when it really did come to the end game, it's just like they didn't actually have any part of the matter whatsoever. Kind of sort of justified because Hanukkah was pretty much out of it. And well, I don't think Mary Rose could take on Raidou either. But yeah, here's the big kahuna himself, and not going to be fighting him just yet. He's just going to like, yeah, come at me, bro, and then the ninja will be like, yeah, you know what, we're going to call you out on that chicanery. Meanwhile, after Christy gets light-arrowed out of existence, because I'm assuming that was Christy in the helicopter there providing harassment. That being said, she probably escaped. Well, yeah, Helena's here. She also wants to know what the flip-flop is going on, and I'm assuming she wants to know, considering I believe the next scene is a fight with her against Nico. what the flip-flop was going on with Kokoro and her mother, since Kokoro's mother is actually working for Mist. Kind of wanted to know what's going on.
Speaking of which, have you seen the picture? So you are
And yeah, once again, this causes a fight, and once again, this fight kind of shows my surprisingly half-decent skill I have with Helena for some reason. Because although I said Nico is rather tricky, she really doesn't really get much offense barring what she's just done. So yeah, like I said, other than what she's kind of already done to me like early on, not really getting much else. Also kind of nice I can go into break combos with Helena from her crouching stance, which is nice. Or maybe I just managed to cancel it fast enough that it didn't really matter. But yeah, turns out Nico's quest to revive the dad. Well, we're going to say it here. Because she only enjoyed Mist so she could do like research because she wants to like revive her father or something, or like wonder where he's gone. I mean, for all we know, he got sucked into some kind of phantom zone. But yeah, if you remember, the whole reason why Helena entered the second tournament was to find out who killed her mother, who was assassinated. And well, we kind of know who that was. I think the story of Helena's storyline in 4 actually confirmed that Christy was the one that killed, assassinated her mother in the attempt to actually assassinate her. And here we are, final boss. Although it says, I'll spoil this now. Although this says the fighter you're choosing is Hayate, you can actually choose between each of the 3 fighters there, so you can play as Aide or Kasumi as well. What I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be playing as all 3 of them. You press one of the buttons there. If you leave it for a little bit, it defaults to Hayate, which is what happened there.
I will stop you. Prepare to fight.
So, yeah, Ultimate Raidou here. He starts off with an unlimited break gauge, which means when he wants to, he can break hold, he can break blow, whatever he wants to, and you can't do a thing about it. He also does this gimmick of putting the thing into darkness and then just coming back and hitting you. And he can just repeat that ad infinitum. He's not a fair boss. I mean, granted, he's the final boss, but he is not a fair boss. I think from each time I was playing this, it took me like 3 or 4 tries, and I was getting very annoyed in the slightest with this boss. And I played Dead or Alive 4. You've seen me play Dead or Alive 4, and you've seen me struggle against Alpha 152. But there are times where I thought, I think True Raidou here can't really hold a candle to 152. No. True Raidou can be even cheaper than 152. So, well, 4's version of 152, and like, she got a buff in like later games when she was made playable. But yeah, you think I'd have an easier time with my main character, with with characters I'm actually good with, and yeah, no, not happening in the slightest. I was gonna say, basically, for the most part, also what I'm thinking about, you know, speaking of Dead or Alive 4, the whole thing where he just like does the whole darkness thing and then just comes out of nowhere with an attack reminds me of Hayabusa in Dead or Alive 4 when you play online and people just do nothing but his thing where he disappears and then comes out of nowhere and attacks you, and they just do that ad infinitum, and was not fun to play, and it became so unfun to play online when there was Hayabusa about, in that whenever I saw a Hayabusa player that wasn't one of my friends, I just basically noped out. I mean, I'm not one for wanting to just frequently DC, but if you're just going to do cheap tactics to win, then I'm just not going to bother. And I expect the computer to do cheap tricks, like 152 does, like True Raidou here does. But yeah, don't particularly like it if other players are doing it. It's just, I just don't like it. One thing that Raidou also has, I don't know if it applies to its true form, or it's just applies to true form or not, because I've not actually, as of doing this commentary and stuff, I haven't actually done the showcase videos yet, and like I said, as of doing these showcase videos, the other ones I actually have to do are Raidou and Phase 4, because they were not, they weren't playable in story mode. But I don't know whether it actually applies, like I said, something that doesn't apply between the playable Raidou and this Raidou is he actually has a projectile attack with I think it's his charge forward P. I think it's back and then punch and kick at the same time. I'm sure I thought he would have used it in one of these fights, and I think it might have been actually a fight that he cut out. And yeah, also a fight which I've cut out, which was basically him just basically being a DOA 4 Hayabusa player and just spamming his Hold Darkness gimmick. But yeah, like I said, this is not a fun boss to play as, and well, not like I said, it's like not satisfying. I mean, it's satisfying to finally defeat him eventually, but at the same time, it's I was just wondering sometimes, did Koei Tecmo not learn anything from 152? Also, it turns out I didn't actually put out the entirety of the failed fights here, because this was another one that really should have gone in. We'll say though, there isn't actually any difference between who you choose to fight for this, aside from like who you're playing as. So yeah, if you're not comfortable with playing as Hayate, but you're more comfortable with playing as Aine or Kasumi, feel free to play as one of those. Because the actual ending cutscene that happens, which happens as soon as you get the KO, this cutscene pretty much stays the same, the credits stay the same, and spoiler alert, there's actually a stinger to this. But yeah, that's pretty much the ball game as far as story mode goes. Like I've said, I think I said this is like the very first video, and something else that I'll explain it later. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing next with this game is I'm going to be doing a small showcase of the other particular single player mode that you can actually do. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. I think it's DOA World or something like that. I'm going to be explaining a little bit of that. It's probably going to be a fairly short video. And then after that, I'm going to be doing the two showcases that I need to do, which is Phase 4 and Raidou. And then that's pretty much going to be it for now as far as DOA 6 is concerned, because at the time of this poll going up, there's not been any confirmation of any DLC characters going up. I mean, there's been the rumour mill of Mai Shiranui making a comeback as a guest DLC fighter, but nothing's really come of that yet. And I also don't know if they're actually going to be doing any more DLC fighters, but yeah, they are going to be doing DLC fighters, so I'm probably going to be doing a showcase with them as well. But yeah, Like I said, once Raidou and Phase 4 are done, I get to do the opportunity to go back to doing request videos again. I'm going to actually need to do the video for that. But anyway, this game in general, this I actually recently saw a comment on part 2 of it, pretty much saying, yeah, just like most of the other story modes in recent Dead or Alive history, it's kind of sucked, and I'm pretty much inclined to agree. Story mode for 6 was kind of sucky, and well, aside from like pretty much the end game stuff which I've shown off in this video, everything was all over the place, and I believe that was partly due to things unlocking like in different places. Like you had to do something in chapter 2 and I had to unlock something in prologue, and really it would have been nice if everything was in some sort of order. And in my opinion, Dead or Alive 5 story mode actually went and did that. Actually did that rather well in my honest opinion. Also, Dead or Alive 5 story mode actually had you to doing things, like aside from just win fights, and kind of helped tutorialize you with certain characters, as far as certain characters as well as like the main gimmicks of 5, which this story mode didn't do, and I'm kind of like a bit sad about that. That being said, Dead or Alive World, or whatever it's called, actually does that a lot better anyway. Yeah, well, it sort of does that a little better. But anyway, I'm kind of losing the will to say anything else I'm going to say about this story mode. It wasn't that great. I mean, the game itself, when you're actually doing things, is perfectly fine. It's probably one of the best things about it. But the story itself was, no, it was all over the place, and the whole tournament was like, it happened, and yeah, it shoehorned Mary Rose and Honoka in like a kind of fade was going to happen, and the story was going to suffer because of it, and in my opinion, I was kind of right on that. But anyway, that's it from me. I will leave you with the rest of the story and the little list of crates and the little stinger, and I will see you next time for whatever it is I want to do. Ciao.
Are you not happy? Your mother.
People grow strong by overcoming sadness. We can never turn back time. Even if science somehow found a way to revive a body.
No, that's not how I see it. I don't believe that.
Stop! One day, you too will come to understand.